Hello everyone, this is me again, and today I'm going to show you one of the projects that myself and my class, my SolidWorks class 2 years ago did. And the reason I'm showing you is to show you the capabilities of computer-aided design and rapid prototyping. So this table that you see behind me, this is our campus miniature model, and this is most of our campus at the scale of 340 to 1. So I'm going to bring the camera closer and show you the details of what my students and I have done. So what we really started with and all we had was the floor plan of the buildings. That's all we could access, that's all we could have. And then this is the project I defined as the final project of my SolidWorks class in 2019. And I asked each one of my students to take over one or a few buildings, depending on if the building was a difficult building, one, if they were simpler offices, several, and then they 3D model that entire building given the floor plan, and then we 3D modeled them, we 3D printed them, and we painted them in that class. We also have the campus topology, the actual topology of the ground using Google Earth, and I'll show you that. And then we also printed the floor of the campus with ups and downs at a realistic scale, and we put everything together in this 8-foot by 8-foot table that you can see here. We landscape the bottom of the model, the floor basically, with sand, with grass. We added the roads, we added a lot of miniature other things, and then we put everything inside the glass enclosure that we cut out of plexiglass. And then this is completely enclosed, so there are two gates on the left and right on these piano hinges that I'm about to show you all the way down here. If you can see me, there is this long piano hinge. So you can have this model completely enclosed from the dust. So we started everything from scratch here, and it took some time to put this pro bono campus model here in our STEM building. So here I go around the model and explain it. Okay, so if we come close, you see there are 4 pillars on each corner of the campus in blue, and then our eagle in gold, looking over our campus, protecting us. And then if we come here, this is our traffic circle. I can show you probably from the top. You can see the flag of the US, Arizona, and Embry-Riddle. We have those bushes, the rocks, and the sand. As I told you, if you look at the campus ground, it is landscaped with these sand particles. The roads are painted in gray, and then we have grass patches. And those green patches really are made of a particle called like grass particle. So the whole floor of the campus, if I go back, you can see it is made of some squares put next to each other. So it is made of 25 of these squares. Each square is 1 foot by 1 foot. You probably can see some of the boundaries. And as I told you, if you look at the thickness of the floor, so if I come here, you see the thickness of the floor is quite small, but as I go around, you clearly see that the thickness of the floor is changing, right? So one corner of our campus is kind of the lowest point, then you have ups and downs. Here it goes a little bit down, and then here on this side, this is where we get the maximum thickness really, okay, at this corner here. And then again, as I said, if I go around, I can show you that again, the thickness of the floor does change, as you can clearly see here. So this data comes from Google Earth and scaled. Then we also have, at so many locations on this model, we have these miniature trees that we added to our campus, and we try to put them at the positions corresponding to the real locations. And then you can see some of our buildings. This is the Davis Learning Center, DLC. We have our student union. We are going to get a new one. We have our STEM building here. Behind that, we have the AC1 building. We have the King building behind that. We have the AXFAB building that you can see in the center. Then you can see the dorms. You can see the dining hall behind these pillars. You can see the T2 and T1 on that corner. You can see the gym or activity center and so many other things. And you can see the parking lots with miniature cars. There are miniature humans around the buildings, as you can see. And some of the other things I need to explain for you here is we have these shades. We have this beach volleyball court. We have the tennis court, a portion of it that was inside this map here. We have these, if I focus here for you, you can see these light posts like this one. These light posts are real LEDs. So their wires are below the table and we can turn them on and off. So they are actual LED small miniature light posts. And you might say, what are all these plexiglass pillars all over this model? And as I told you, the model here is enclosed in plexiglass. If I go back, you can see the gates here, the caps, right? You can see these two big 4 feet by 8 feet. Let me show you from this angle. And they would basically rotate about these long piano hinges, and they would come and cover the top of the model, so the model is protected from dirt and everything. And since those thin, large plates of plexiglass will sag, will bend under their own weight, we had to have all these pillars to bear the weight of those so they don't sag down. So those are just to carry the weight of those. And as I told you, we have every part of our campus. Here is our library, here is the visitor center, right? Now many of these are going to change or have changed a little bit, including the dining hall. This is like a bus station here that you can see, and if I go around, you can even see there is somebody sitting waiting for the cars, right? This is our some of the dorms, as I told you. You can see the chapel here and the counseling center. You can see the wellness center. As I said, some of the, we call them the village buildings, the modular dorms. We have T1 building, the newer dorms. We have T2 or Thumb View building, and so on. And here we have the soccer field here. You can see the people with the soccer goal. There is another one here that you can see with the miniature ball. Of course, the size is not proportionate, but you can see them. And this is all we have done as a project for a CAD class. So, of course, it was a little bit in the beginning seeming to be overwhelming, but it's not really. And then students enjoyed, because I had 20 students. So all of them, along with me and several other technicians on campus and volunteers, helped us put this beautiful campus miniature model together, which is if you want an outside entity to make this for you, you're looking at about $100,000. But our student with me, we could do it all pro bono. So to beautify our campus, and now many people, when they visit our campus, visitors, prospective students and family, when they come here, if our CAMs want to show them around the campus and they don't want to walk all over the campus, they can just literally show everything on this 3D model. So hopefully you see now the value that computer-aided design and 3D printing can add to your campus, to your company. You can make your own 3D models and add monuments like this. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and it was a little bit different. You typically see you don't see me, right? You just hear my voice behind the screen teaching something. So I said, let me show them something a little bit different today and motivate them to use CAD and 3D printing and make something like this for their own organization, institution, anything like that. And this is not the only thing I have done so far. This is like the biggest thing, but I have made miniature models for a couple of local schools and basically some other organizations. So I personally enjoy working with CAD and 3D printing, so hopefully you do too and share the same interest. Thank you so much for your attention. I will see you in my next video.